to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? All right, let's get back to Iraq. I know I've been away for a little bit, but I didn't expect a whole lot of big changes between the time I left and the time I came back. It's the same crap all the time. That's Iraq for you. They take 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. If it ain't one thing, it's another. But so far, there hasn't been any real major setbacks. Oh, I don't know. You can kind of say the 14 banks is a pretty big setback, but compared to what's usually going on, right now they're just going through all the reforms that are necessary to get themselves back on track. But unfortunately, they have to deal with the same crap over and over again. Before we get started, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I certainly do appreciate it. If you're thinking about buying gold, silver, or any other precious metals, head on over to our friends at Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description, or just type in www.moneymetals.com/Pimpy. If you make a purchase when you follow that link, you will automatically be entered for a chance to win 10 free silver ounces. So get started today, and hopefully your stack will start to look like this real soon. So head on over, tell them Pimpy sent you. You can follow me over on other platforms. I do have my own group over on Facebook called Pimpy's Investment Chat. Over here we do talk about gold, silver, cryptocurrencies, as well as foreign currency investments. So head on over here and join us. It's free to do so. In here I do post updates if I should get on suspension from YouTube or get removed from YouTube and you want to know what happened to me, I'll let you know right here in this group. I can be found on Twitter, MeWe, YouTube, and the cool thing about YouTube, if you come over here and you join and you find my channel, I got videos going back, I believe, a couple years. So if you want to see some older videos that I have on Nasera, gold, silver, cryptos, come on over here and join, look me up, and check out my videos. You can also find me on Odyssey, catch me on Rumble. When I say that the links for all these are down below in the description, some of you don't know what I'm talking about. It's real simple. Just go down to the bottom right here of any of my videos. See this? This is the description. Hit show more. And there are all the links to all the platforms I just spoke about. So if you do want to head on over to Money Metals, just click it. And there you are. So come on over. Join us. I look forward to having you. A couple of things. One, I'm no longer suspended on Twitter. We went through the appeals process again. When I asked them to please send me some proof or a copy of the violation, they didn't have one, so they just reinstated me. So I don't know if it's just some arbitrary multicolor hair wearing idiot that works there that's doing that to people, or if there was a legitimate issue, they weren't able to point it out. But anyways, I'm grateful for it. Another thing too, people are asking how come I haven't been announcing the winners of the 10 silver ounces with Money Metals. That's because over the last couple of months, according to a third-party company we go through, there hasn't been any purchases made by you guys. And I kind of find that hard to believe. So if any of you have made purchases from Money Metals, do me a favor and let me know down below in the comments. It just seems kind of weird that this company is claiming that that's not happening, and it's never been that way before. Oh, before we get into Iraq, don't forget, September 29th through October the 1st of this year, I will be in Vegas. Come out there and join me for this Silver Symposium. It'll be held at Caesar's Palace. This will give you an opportunity to get on over there and meet some of your favorite YouTubers. We know Andy Shipman. We know Economic Ninja. I believe Chris from Arcadia Economics is going to be there, as well as Lynette Zhang, I believe. I've heard that, so there was no confirmation on it, but I believe she's going to be there as well. So come on over there. This will be an opportunity for you to shake hands, take pictures, ask questions. This is the best time for you to get a lot of knowledge while you're there. Plus, it's Vegas. Come on now. Anyways, if you use this link over here to go get your tickets and use Pimpy, you will get 10% off of your purchase. In addition to that, when you get there, they're going to be handing out silver. So it's almost like the whole thing is paying for itself. So come out there and join us, would you? So as I was scrolling through the news just to see what was going on, as you can see, the oil and gas law issue has not been resolved. This has been ongoing for years. I understand where Kurdistan is coming from. The hang-up has a lot to do with the oil fields. that were found after the Constitution was written. And they're saying technically it belongs to them, but Iraq is saying no, those still belong to us regardless. I did a video about it, but I do understand where Kurdistan's coming from, because they want that oil for themselves. They can make more money, or at the very least compensate them for it. So we'll see where this goes. It's an ongoing issue. So it looks like the delegation from Iraq is here in the United States meeting with our officials over here in Washington. And it looks like they're doing all they can to kind of prepare a visit from al-Sudani with other officials here. The word is that Biden's not going to be there unless you got money to bribe him. You're not going to be able to see that guy. So now I know Turkey has been meeting with Iraq about all the agreements that they had as far as trade and helping one another and security and all those other fun-loving things. But one of the biggest issues definitely has to be the water issue. Turkey has some pretty big dams up there, and they are blocking the water from Iraq, much needed water for them to do their agriculture. So I know that's being discussed. The agreement on how much water was supposed to be released by Turkey is not being met. As a matter of fact, it's less than half the amount they agree to release every month. Fortunately, it's having a toll on the Iraqi people. The Ministry of Finance publishes the amendments table related to the Article 76 of the budget. So more changes to the budget. And of course, my understanding is they still have not passed the budget. This thing was approved when? June? Is that right? And they still haven't passed it. This is the kind of crap that Iraq goes through all the time. So it looks like al-Sudani is going to be reshuffling his government. So this would be interesting. Let's see who all the new players are. I think it should be done that way from time to time. This would be a good way to keep corruption from happening, in my opinion. Unified Treasury accounts, a step in the right direction. So apparently there's multiple accounts that Iraq uses to put money in to distribute their money for the budgets. And it's become a hassle, it's hard to manage, and that's where a lot of the corruption happens. This is how will the Unified Treasury account solve Iraq's financial problems in light of many difficulties and chronic challenges, including administrative and financial corruption, inefficient management of public money, waste of state resources, and its financial and economic institutions. You know, you would think by now that these people in the government got their crap together. Unfortunately, they're so corrupt, they don't care for reform. You know, the more that Iraq changes and starts modifying the way they do their work over there, the easier it is for people to catch whenever corruption takes place. Just understand that there's people in the powers that be that don't want those types of changes. They make great money ripping off the people of Iraq. So you will get a lot of resentment. In addition to all of that, the most important challenge is the lack of clear account to manage state resources properly. The application for a unified treasury account system will reduce corruption and will allow the Iraqi government to see the daily actual balance to determine the government's expenditures instead of distributing these expenses to more than one account. Essential dealing with the balances of the government bank accounts through the unified treasury account will enhance electronic practices in payment systems, collection of tax and custom revenues, control government spending, and identify daily, weekly, monthly, and annually revenues for all sectors of the state and institutions instead of specialized accounts in each of these sectors. So it's a step in the right direction, but this article, you can go on to see, they've been dealing with corruption, and they're still dealing with it now. All right, so somebody said, hey, did you see the video from Nadar? He responded to one of your videos. I go, no, not yet, but I'll check it out. So this is a little late. So let's hear what my Iraqi brother has to say, and let's respond to it, okay?
All right, guys, Nadar from Middle East. This video, it's about, you know, guys, I love Pimpy. I watch him a lot. I follow him a lot. He's very reasonable. I listen to him a lot. I agree with them on a lot of things, and I disagree with him on a lot of things. And today I'm making this video because I'm disagreeing with him on something.
What? Disagreeing with me?
Actually on two things. First, when he says, because you're from Iraq, you know more than everybody. We don't know more than everybody, but we have more knowledge of our country than the people who lives out of the country. That's the first thing, okay?
Oh, okay, I know what he's talking about. I said that there's all these videos that are being posted about the Iraqi Dinar with people making these claims that the exchange rate is like $5 and $6, these real ridiculous things. And a lot of these people that are posting these videos are claiming to be from Iraq. And I told people, just because they're there in country, that doesn't mean like they're getting some resources that we don't have, or they're getting information that before we do. It's real time. So that's what he's responding to.
So it's not we know more, but we hear more, we read more. Because we're there. We have more than, Mawazini News and Sharak News and whatever you guys watch, all right? We have more than that. So we have more news, yes. And we have news before you guys, because when we get the news, you're sleeping. For real, though.
Who said I sleep? Nadar? Didn't you know I was a vampire?
All right, the second thing is, I'm going to disagree with you when you says, the budget doesn't need a new rate, a new exchange rate, because, sorry guys, Iraqi has been living for 20 years with a bad, let's call it like this, a bad exchange rate, and it didn't bother us. No, it bothered us a lot, and things are very, very expensive, believe it or not. What you can do with a bag of potatoes and a bag of banana and a bag of this and a bag of this, you can buy for a month. That's not true. I mean, the reality of it, you have to be there to see the prices. When you Google the prices, that's not the prices. You know that better than me and anybody else. All right.
Okay, so in the video, I was talking about why it is people would prefer to go to the black market and exchange their American dollars for Iraqi dinars there, because they get more Iraqi dinars for the US dollars than they would if they went to the bank. But just so you're aware that I made an example is what I did. That doesn't mean that's the actual exchange rate. I'm just saying that if this happened, on average, then Iraqi would get 23,000 more Iraqi dinars by going to the black market than they would by going to the bank. And so, of course, Nader's right. He's there. He sees the prices. All I had to use as a guide was a website that's showing us the current cost of living over there. And so what I did is I took the 23,000 dinars and I was able to look at what the cost of items were there. And I made a list of things that people could buy with that extra 23,000. So that's what Nader's talking about. But yeah, by no stretch of the imagination, am I claiming that's the actual price? And of course you live there, so you would know much better than I do. What I was just trying to do is show an example of why it is people would prefer to go to the black market instead of the bank, is all that was. That's the best examples that I can come up with.
Here's why we need a new exchange rate. First, for purchasing power. Second, we travel. If you travel a lot, especially for work or even for pleasure or for anything like that, life is a lot cheaper. Now, if I want to come to the United States, don't look at me. I'm doing something for me, like I'm not paying. Sometimes I don't pay for myself, to tell you the truth. Sometimes I don't, even the company pays for me. So don't look at me and judge everybody else. But if I want to come over here on vacation, I can't. If I want to go to Europe on vacation, I can't. If I want to go to Australia, I can't. If I want to go to Canada, I can't. Anywhere in the world, even Africa, I can't, because when I take 2 million or 3 million dinars and it become like, 2,000, 3,000, if you have 2 kids like me, if you have a family like me and all that, for 15 days or even a week, that's not enough, first things. When you say this, when you buy something, let's put it like this. When you buy something from the internet, you go buy a pair of shoes, all right? Let's choose a brand, I don't know, any brand, Reebok, example. It's going to cost you $40. You know what? It's going to cost me $40 too. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you exchange the $40 with the Iraqi dinar, become a lot. It become expensive. That means I cannot afford it. You see what I'm saying?
No, okay, so yeah, I get what you're saying, but what I'm trying to explain something, and that is for 20 years, Iraq has passed and was able to implement a budget even with the bad exchange rate. I'm not saying you guys wouldn't appreciate a higher exchange rate. That's not what I'm saying. But people are out there going, it's impossible. They can't, this budget won't be able to make it without a higher exchange rate. And I go, well, that's not true. Who said that they can't make it without a higher exchange rate? So for people to go, oh, they're going to change the exchange rate just because they passed a huge budget, that's not true. For 20 years, Iraq has been passing budgets and staying within their means. The exchange rate does affect the budget, but what I'm trying to say is this. They already know the value of their currency. The entire budget is based on that value. So for people to say, oh, they're not going to be able to make it with that value is just false. It's not true. They've been doing it for 20 years. Now, I'm not saying you guys couldn't appreciate a much higher exchange rate. I know we would love for you guys to get one over there too, but I'm just trying to tell those individuals out there that are swearing up and down, Iraq is not going to be able to make it without a higher exchange rate for these budgets. That's just a false claim. That's all that was. Anyways, Nadar, my brother over there in Iraq, I surely do appreciate you guys chiming in. I get where you're coming from, but just understand that these are examples and they're used to make a point. But I appreciate you chiming in from time to time. As far as everybody else, I appreciate you stopping by as well. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will get back at you later. I'm out.